afternoon or maybe good evening for all you guys, for the RTThread fans all over the world. This is Zhen Dongfei from Shanghai HPMicro Semiconductors. I'm very pleased and also very honored to have the chance to talk to you guys here on the RTThread Global Technical Conference. I'd like to talk to you with some stories about our workings between HPMicro and the RTThread. So the subject of my presentation is HPMicro high-performance RISC-V microcontroller with RTThread to create a new embedded development ecosystem. Today, my presentation will be divided into three parts. First, I'd like to give you a brief introduction about our company, the HPMicro Semiconductors, and our product, the HPM6000 series high-performance RISC-V microcontrollers. Secondly, I'd like to share with you about our cooperation, the cooperation between HPMicro and the RTThread, and all the journeys we have gone through during the past several years. And finally, I'd like to share with you guys about some successful stories. These stories are all developed by our customer and our HPMicro microcontroller fans. They combined our microcontroller with RTThread, and they have created many successful embedded systems and many useful products. Okay, let me start with the company and the product in introduction. First, I'd like to talk something about HPMicro. HPMicro is established in June 2020, so we are still a quite young startup. We are a fabless semiconductor company. We design and manufacture microcontrollers. What makes us a quite different microcontroller supplier is that our product is focused on the high performance end. And secondly, we build our microcontroller based on the RISC-V architecture. The RISC-V, you maybe know, it is an open source ISA, the instruction set architecture. We are quite young, but we grow fast. We are now have over 100 employees, and among them, 70% are all in the R&D department. Our headquarters is in Shanghai, Zhangjiang, but we also have branches and sales office around China. We have branches in Tianjin, Shenzhen, Suzhou, and Hangzhou. And right now, most of our customers are in China, but we are also trying to build working with our partners, and we hope that maybe we can run business outside China in a short period. Here, I'd like to tell you something about our products. Our first product is the HPM 6700 and 6400 series. We launched this product, our first high-performance microcontroller, just in less than 2 years, beginning from our company has been established. The HPM 6700 is the dual-core version with top frequency up to 800 megahertz. And the 6400 series is a single-core version. It also has the 800 megahertz CPU core. And besides high-performance CPU, this microcontroller has also very strong display and multimedia peripherals. Also, it has very strong real-time control peripherals, including PWM and ADC, and it also has very rich communication interfaces. Just several months after our first product, we have launched our second product, the HPM 6300 series. It is a very high cost-effective version compared with the first product. Compared with HPM 6700, the HPM 6300 is a single-core version, but also its top CPU frequency is around 600 megahertz. It is also a general-purpose microcontroller. It don't support the display interface, but has maintained the real-time control and also the very rich communication ports. Our third product is the HPM 6200 series. Here we call it Born for Precise Control. It is also a dual-core microcontroller with top frequency up to 600 megahertz. And we have first built the high-resolution PWM module on this microcontroller. So the HPM62 series is very good at high-performance motor control and also very good for the new energy applications, including digital power and inverters and energy storage, etc. And in the year of 2022, in the Q3, we have launched our first product, the HPM 5300 series. This is a very cost-effective, maybe the entry level for all our HPMicro microcontrollers. We have provided very compact small pin count packages, including 100 LQFP and also the 64 pin count, the 64 LQFP, and also the 48 pin QFN package for our customers. This product is very easy for use, but it also maintains the feature that high performance. The HPM 5300, its top frequency is also around 400 MHz. And at the beginning of this year, we have announced another product, our fifth product, the HPM 6800 series. It is designed for display and cluster. We believe it may be the first high-end microcontroller which is embedded with the true GPU, the graphic processing unit. And also, we embedded the DDR controller on this HPM 6800 series, and so that the customer can extend very high capacity and also high data throughput DDR external memories to the microcontroller. And maybe in next month, we will launch our sixth product, the HPM 6E series. This product is focused on industrial in Ethernet communication and also the high precision motion control. We will embedded the EtherCAT safe controller on this chip. Also, we have a multi-protocol Ethernet switch embedded on this chip. This product is also very important for our customers. Okay, now let's talk about our product portfolio. And we can see that in the less than 4 years, HPMicro has been built a very complete and strong product portfolio for our customers. We can look at the entry-level side. We have HPM 5300 series. These devices can cover the applications in the pin count, which is less than 100. We have packages like 48 QFN, 64 QFN, and also the 80 LQFP and the 100 LQFP packages. Even for these entry-level devices, our top frequency is up to 480 MHz, and this device has embedded around more than 288 kilobyte SRAM and also 1 megabyte flash. And on the middle end range, we have our 6300 series and also the 6200 series. We have also the dual-core version, HPM 6280, and the single-core version, HPM 6360 and HPM 6260. And on the high end, we have the two very strong series, the HPM 67 series and also the HPM 68 series. And we can use the HPM 67 series for the general purpose application. And its pin count has been covered on the 200 and to around 300 pin count level. And for the HPM 68 series, we offer pin count for more than 400 pins. And for the applications including graphic and LCD display, the HPM 6800 series is a very suitable choice. Okay, now it's time for me to tell you stories about between HPMicro and RTThread, how we know each other and how we started and decided to start our partnership with each other. Okay, first let me just give you some callback on when we released and announced our first high-performance RISC-V microcontroller, the HPM 6700 and 6400 series. It is first announced on the October of year 2021. Well, when we released our first microcontroller, we know that it is a very high-end, high-performance microcontroller with very rich peripherals. And you know that for the engineers, the hardware, the microcontroller standalone, it means nothing. Only the most creative engineer try to develop the software which is running on this microcontroller device and combine the hardware and the software together that create a great product or a great embedded system design. So we look at the RTThread, which is a very strong, very robust RTOS, which means real-time operation system. We know that for the microcontrollers like HPM 6700, we have dual core and the CPU frequency running can up to 800 MHz. Some traditional developing ways for the engineering to study their software programming may become less and less efficient, like the bare metal programming method. The engineers just starting from every line of C code and just starting from the hardware, the drivers, and sometimes it means a very long develop time. So we have decided that we should work with RTThread, and we have announced the partnership on the same month. It is on the 2021 October. And then we started to porting the RTThread to our microcontroller device. We also developed and designed a new board, the very low-cost version of the evaluation kit, the HPM6750 EVK Mini evaluation kit. We can also notice that on this evaluation kit, we have developed the RTPi extension port, which is quite popular in the RTThread community. And in the recent years, we have extended our partnership and try to also manage to port the RTThread to almost all of our HPMicro devices. We can have a look at all the boards which is supported by the RTThread BSP. We have the HPM6750 EVK, the EVK2, and the EVK Mini. We also have the HPM6300 EVK, the HPM6200 EVK, also the HPM5300 EVK and EVK Lite. And even for the recently announced HPM6800 EVK, we have also ported the RTThread. So it's a very full and solid partnership between HPMicro and RTThread. Okay, now let me talk about the latest RTThread BSP release, the HPMicro RTThread BSP version 1.5.0. The latest BSP version 1.5.0 has been released on this April. Compared with our first release, the first release of version 0.1.0, which was released almost more than 2 years ago. We are keep improving our BSP and our support on the RTThread. We can notice that the version number, we have released more than 10 versions in the last 2 years. And I think right now the BSP support for the devices is quite complete and strong. Let's look at the drivers we have ported. All the drivers, almost all the necessary drivers have been adapted on the RTThread, including the general purpose peripherals like UART, GPIO, I2C, SPI, and CAN. And we have also drivers adapted for the high-speed communication interfaces like the SDIO, the SD card interfaces, the high-speed USB, and also the high-speed 1 gigabit per second Ethernet port. We have also create drivers for timers, including the hardware timer and the watchdog, also the real-time counter, the RTC. And we can also find the multimedia drivers adaptation, like the audio interface, like the I2S and the LCD drivers. We have also ported the analog and the motor control related peripherals, like the ADC, the analog to digital converter, and the PWM modules. Let's look at the example side. We can now give examples to all the engineers from the very basic examples, like the blink LED, and from the basic communication interfaces examples, like the CAN examples, and also the basic timer examples, and the examples which is using the DMA to manage the UART port. We have also the USB examples, like the USB host examples, and also the USB devices examples, and the multimedia examples, like audio examples, also the Ethernet examples. Here we have also the LCD display examples, which is running on the LVDL, the open source HMI framework. And we can also provide the examples, which is connecting the Wi-Fi via the SPI port. Also the SD card demos, which also build on the RTThread file system framework. And we also have a web camera example, and also a web camera based on the Wi-Fi, which is a very complex and complete application level examples. Besides download and try to evaluate the RTThread using the RTThread Studio IDE, we have now started to provide a very light example in our HPM SDK, the version 1.5.0. We have provided an RTThread Nano example. This can be very convenient for the engineers who is already interested in the RTThread kernel. So we can figure out that the partnership between RTThread and our dedication to RTThread RTOS software is quite strong, and all the examples are very complete, very easy for the software developers to start their work on our HPMicro devices. Now it is the time for me to share with you guys some real use cases that our end customer who have combined the HPMicro high-performance microcontroller with RTThread and create a lot of very exciting and great products. I'd like to give you some real examples. We know that for HPMicro, we have till now released 5 series of high-performance microcontrollers based on RISC-V CPU. And what makes HPMicro microcontroller quite different from other microcontroller is that first, we provide very high CPU processing performance. Our top frequency of our CPU ranges from 400 MHz to 800 MHz. And besides, we also provide very strong multimedia capability, like the high-end LCD interface and camera interfaces. We also provide very rich high-speed communication ports, including Ethernet, USB, CAN bus, and also UART, SPI, I2C, etc. And then we also provide very strong real-time control peripherals, including PWM and the 16-bit high-speed ADC, the analog digital converter, as well as the DAC, digital analog converter. By these features, we have won a lot of business in 3 major domains, like the industrial automation, the new energy, and the automotive electronics. In the next few minutes, I will give you some real cases. Here is an example of HMI in industrial automation. Here, HMI stands for human-machine interface. The customer has chosen our HPM6750 as the main controller in their embedded system. The reason that customer choose HPM microcontroller device is because we provide a very high performance CPU. The HPM6750 has dual core, which can run up to 800 MHz. This performance can easily handle the multiple tasks running on this device. We have also a very high resolution RGB display interface. The LCD display we can support can be very high resolution, and the resolution can be up to 720p. And our device also supports 2 Ethernet port, which can connect the device into the existing Ethernet network very easily. And also, there are multiple UART, I2C, and SPI, especially the UART. It can connect with many legacy field bus connections. We have also the QSPI flash extension and the SD-RAM extension, which can be used for code and data storage. And with the help of RTThread, the customer has greatly reduced their engineering with software development cycles. With the RTThread plus LVGL, the customer has built a very beautiful graphic user interfaces which can be displayed on the LCD. And also with RTThread plus the LWIP, TCP/IP stack, the customer can very easily finish their communication level software development. Okay, this example is a programmable controller used in the smart building area. In this building, the customer has developed this programmable controller and use this controller to connect and control all the devices across the building. These devices can be the monitor systems, the lighting switches, and also maybe a lot of sensors. And the customer has chosen HPM6364 thanks to its very high performance CPU. The CPU frequency can also be up to 600 MHz. It also supports a very high speed, high accuracy 16-bit ADC to connect with very many critical sensors. And the customer has used a high-speed SPI port to extend an external Ethernet switch. And with the RTThread and its existing TCP/IP stack, the customer has greatly reduced their software working cycles. And also with the RTThread and the file system, the customer implements the data storage via the SDIO port and to store the data in the external SD card. Okay, here is the example of an DTU device, which is used in the smart power grid application. Here, DTU stands for Data Transfer Unit. The customer has developed these devices and used it to monitor the local grid status. the microcontroller has used the SPI connection port to interface the external high-performance 24-bit ADC to monitor the power grid status, and then report all the related data via the Ethernet port to the remote host. The customer has chosen HPM 6750 as the main controller. The main reason is that it will use a dual-core high-performance CPU, the high-speed Ethernet port, the LCD display for the HMI, and also the SDRAM extension and the QSBI flash data or encode storage extension. The customer has used the RTThread operation system to manage all the resources on the chip. It has used the RTThread with the TCP/IP, the internet component, the file system component, and also the LVDL, the GUI component. And finally, it becomes a very successful project for this customer. Here is another product called the CAN analyzer, which is used in the automotive field. The customer has developed this CAN analyzer, which is used in the vehicle diagnostic system. They choose HPM 6450 since the main reason is that this microcontroller has 4 CAN FD ports. With these 4 CAN FD ports, the microcontroller can collect all the vehicle data from the CAN bus and then report it to the diagnostic software running on the PC via the USB port. As we have already ported the CAN drivers to the RTThread system, the customer has finished this product design very quickly and very easily. Here is an example of an edge processing gateway, which is used in the IIoT application. Here, IIoT stands for Industrial IoT. IoT means Internet of Things, if you know. I guess you all know. And the customer has chosen the HPM 6450 devices as the main controller because it has a very high performance CPU, which can be run up to 800 MHz. And also this device embedded 2 MB, a very large capacity SRAM. And with this 2 MB SRAM, they don't need to use external SDRAM for data storage. Besides, it has used 2 external QSPI flash, one for code storage and another for data storage. On the connection and internet connection side, this device can support the Ethernet, which has a cable. It also extends an 4G device with a USB port. Thus, it can also become a wireless devices with the customer using RTThread and its TCP/IP stack. Also, the RTThread with the file system and the RTThread, the AT component. The customer has finished the design very easily. Okay, this is the end of my sharing today. Thank you very much. And also thank you very much to your patience and attention. Please keep following HPMicro. You can visit our website and also contact us via our official email account. Also, you can follow our account in the social media network. Thank you very much. Stay tuned and keep in touch. Goodbye.